So let's talk about the T.J. Houshmandazdeh situation. So T.J. Houshmandazdeh had to file a restraining order against a woman who was, in all intents and purposes, obsessed with him. Now, keep in mind that earlier this year, we did have Jamar Chase, who also had to file a restraining order against a woman for allegedly making claims that he hit her and all this other stuff. And obviously, that situation has been cleared up. He has gotten a restraining order against her. Everything is okay now. Now, this situation is kind of insane, and it's a little bit crazier. I know the Jamar Chase situation was crazy, but this is a little bit crazier than the Jamar Chase situation. So again, like I said, yes, she's obsessed with him and he had to get a restraining order. The reason why is because he claims in several court documents that she was posting as his children's mother all over the internet. Again, this is all alleged. Obviously, none of this has been 100% confirmed, but at this moment in time, it's all alleged. She was posing as his children's mother all over the internet. Keep in mind, T.J. Houshmandazdeh has a wife of his own. So that's another situation that's going on here. Is he already has a wife. Also making contact with his wife. So she was contacting his wife, trying to get in contact with his wife, saying she's the mother of his children all over the internet. Following that up, she sent harassing mail and personal items to his house. Now, we don't know what the personal items are. We don't know what the harassing mail entitles. My guess is it's probably going to be death threats sent through the mail. Personal items could be anything. I mean, it could be a pile of crap she took and put in a thing and sent it to him. If she's as crazy as he's making her out to be, she could have sent him her feces and it would not surprise me. Again, everything is alleged. Keep that in mind. I want to keep that in mind here. It's alleged. Everything's alleged. TJ also says in the documents that he once received a letter from her in which she stated she had several bullets inscribed with the names of each of his family members. Yes, so that is insane. And I wouldn't say, to say the least, that's not even saying the least at this point. That's insane to an extreme amount. I mean, I can't imagine. She has sending him stuff in the mail nonstop. She's obviously sending harassing stuff. She's obviously contacting his wife. She's trying to act like she's the kid's mother, which apparently T.J. Houshmandazdeh, she is not. And she's so obsessed with him, she will go as far as, again, allegedly, everything's alleged, to put, bullets with their names on it, because you already know what that indicates and what would happen at the end. So, it's just insanity that this is actually happening. And here's the crazy thing, right? So, this woman is 53 years old. T.J. Houshmandazdeh has filed a restraining order against a woman he claimed changed her last name. Oh yeah, by the way, forgot to mention that little part. She changed her last name to Houshmandazdeh. So she says he's the baby daddy, she's the mother, and she changed her last name to Houshmandazdeh. In efforts to get closer to him, she changed her last name to Houshmandazdeh to get closer to him. Per outlet, the 53-year-old woman has been harassing Houshmandazdeh and his family since 2015. First off, when I hear 53-year-old woman, the beginning, when I hear the story, I think, okay, well, how old is she, right? Is she a kid? Is she a teenager? Is she early 20s? Because when I hear early 20s, or I hear it's a kid, or I hear it's like a teenager, 18, 19, it might just be someone who's insanely obsessed. And it might just be someone who has obviously, no matter where we look at here, if this is all true, this is mental illness, right? This is obviously mental illness. This is a mental problem this woman has, and she needs help, right? That's what this comes down to. Now, again, like I said, it all comes down to the fact of, once I hear 53 years old, what I think about that point is this is a severe mental illness. If it's a kid, it's like, okay, you're crazy, whatever, blah, blah, you're psycho. But when you hear 53 years old, this is probably a severe mental illness. And especially if she's going to change her last name to him just to get close to him. She's been harassing them for 8 years now. Like, this is to a point now where I will say I agree with TJ for getting a restraining order, if again all this is true. But, and I have to say that for legal reasons, you know what I'm saying? Like, I believe TJ Houshmandazdeh 100%. But for legal reasons, why everyone says alleged, because in case, someone tries to sue you and she's clearly crazy. I mean, allegedly, she's crazy. Allegedly. Everything I'm saying is alleged. Anyway, though, when I hear 53, I think, like, okay, so that woman is most likely, she's beyond just the restraining order. If it's a kid, it's a young adult, 20, 30 years old, whatever. Jamar Chase situation, I believe the girl that he had a one-night stand with, I think she was like 24, 25. She's around his age. That situation, okay, she's crazy. Psycho girl, whatever. But at the same time, I think a restraining order, she'll probably shut up and go away. This situation right here, when she changes her name, contacting you, doing all this stuff, obviously sending you harassing stuff, obviously trying to contact your wife, changing her last name. Again, if the statement of which is true about the bullets is true from TJ here, this is beyond a restraining order, right? Because clearly she does not care about the law. Because if she cared about the law, all that stuff she's doing right there is harassing and borderline assault, depending on the death threats, borderline actually trying to kill somebody. So you're bordering on that kind of category here, on that little territory here. So this is beyond what needs to be a restraining order. This needs to be a lot more than a restraining order. Now, it says right here that, according to the outlet, Houshmandazdeh filed a restraining order against a woman back in 2015, but said that it expired after 2019. The harassment began again. So clearly, again, so he filed a restraining order for 4 years, and it's still happening. Now, the fact he has not filed a restraining order again since 2019 does interest me a lot. I guess that maybe after that 4-year period, she kind of calmed down. She was okay. She wasn't like harassing him anymore. And then it started again. And this is what I will say with, and I'm not going to get too much into the legal system, but I think when you get to this point, right, clearly if this person is true, it's all true, they are mentally ill, right? And they, for whatever reason, think that this is acceptable behavior and it is okay to do this kind of stuff to somebody. And it's not, obviously. But when you get to the second point, like the 4 years, okay, 4 years, I think that's a good length of time with a, restraining order, where if they do it again, they're a repeat offender. I think there has to be some arrest made on that one. That's just my personal opinion. Or there has to be some type of, maybe not arrest made, but maybe institutionalized for this said woman. Maybe she needs to go to, what do they call it, the Happy Farm, the Happy Hospital. Like, I think they need to, and this, okay, the website just completely crashed. I think there needs to be something done beyond what is just a restraining order. Because, again, like I said before, we're now getting to a point with this, and it's kind of now getting scarier than scary, right? Because now we're getting to a point where she might lash out and do something crazy. And while, yes, it would be nice if, in all perfect world, that, she would get the restraining order and be fine and everything's okay, and, like, she's not going to bother him. But if she changed her last name to his name, there's something wrong in her head, okay? So unless he is lying, unless he is not telling the truth here, unless there is information that simply is not coming out from her side that is factual, then this could lead to something very bad. And I think that, there needs to be something done because, again, like I said, what's the next thing that she's going to do? All those things we just listed were horrendous and awful and scary. What's the next thing, right? So at some point, you got to look at the fact that it's going to continue to escalate. So clearly, a restraining order has not stopped that. It might have stopped it for 4 years, but as he claims here, she's been doing it for the last, 4 years? It stopped at 4 years. She's been doing it since 4 years. So I think that, personally speaking, again, like I said before, I understand, like, there's not much he can do in this situation. Until she commits a crime, technically, there's nothing that technically can, like, prevent this or prevent anything further. Once he commits a crime, obviously, then he can call the cops and there's the whole legal process there. But before the preventing of this, I'm saying in general, I feel like there needs to be something moving forward that we actually look toward, that stops stuff like this from happening. Because again, like I said, it's like this, right? If this woman is truly mentally ill and it's a mental illness, I do feel bad for her. I do actually feel bad for her over feeling bad. I feel bad for TJ for dealing with this, but I feel bad for her for the mental illness and her not being able to control her actions here. But again, like I said, this person's life, his family, his wife, they're in danger. Their life's in danger because of this individual. So I feel like there definitely needs something to be done further than a restraining order, but it looks like he probably will get the restraining order. If he got it once, I'm gonna guess he gets it again, because there really isn't. If they logically said, okay, yeah, you deserve to get this time, I don't see why they wouldn't say it again if she's still doing the same acts and still doing the same things. I'm sure if his story is accurate and true, he can prove everything she's doing and say, hey, listen, look, she sent me this, she did this, I have video of this, I have this, it. So she has all the information. He has all the information. And if she changed her last name to Houshmandazdeh, for Pete's sake, that's beyond the beyond of okay, yeah, man. She clearly, we already know she's a little bit delusional there. And if everything else checks out to what she did in 2015, and I'm sure it continues to, they're going to give him the restraining order. I'm just scared for him, personally, right? That's kind of how I look at these things. I'm more scared for TJ Houshmandazdeh here and his family on what she could or what she couldn't do next. And I think that, it's sad, but we're going to kind of wait, and hopefully the restraining order, she obeys it, and hopefully nothing crazy happens, because I would hate to hear anything in the news about him, further than this, right? And, these crazy stories, I feel like we always hear about them, and then we're like, all right, yeah, it happens. And then later down the line, we hear another story, and another story is a lot worse than the first story. So I'm just hoping everything's okay with him. I love him. Just make sure everything's okay, man. But thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the likes, comment down below. I'll see you guys next one. And I got an M&T Bank Stadium advertisement. I think that's because he used to play for the Ravens too, TJ Houshmandazdeh. So, yeah. Peace out, guys.